professional camera here. I'm not going to deal with this little one. I want that dual mic input because that was a nice feature. There. So I started looking, and I came across B&H, Bravo Hotel. Great company to buy from if you're looking for camera equipment. They're out in New York, and I'll tell you what, most of the guys know what they're talking about there. They're not trying to sell you something just because they want to make points on it. They want to sell it to you because you think it's going to be right for you, or they think it's going to be right for you. So again, they don't go crazy with it. All right, so that's what I had just done. So anyway, I called them up and I said, listen, the camera that I had just used from the TV station was a Panasonic blah blah blah. Well, they stopped making that one about 1.5 years ago. So if you still want one of them, you're going to have to buy a used one. And they didn't have a used one. And I'm not going to buy a used one off of somebody that I don't even know because, you know, it's not like it's cheap. You're spending $1,000 or better. And then you get a camera that's got how long, how much on it, how much time, how much use and abuse. You know what I mean? How is it taken care of, yada, yada, yada. You got to trust the person that you're buying it from, you know. And if you don't know them, how can you trust them? So that's kind of like where I was. So I started going through B&H and looking at a few of their stuff, looked at some of the stuff they recommended, and so on. And that's kind of where I was. So I found 2 units that I wanted. One was a Canon XA11, and the other was a Panasonic G30 or something like that. Both of them were nice. But we're looking between $1,400 and $1,500 by the time you're done with taxes. It's free shipping, but taxes. So I go, holy shit, I don't want to spend that kind of money, but yet, you know what? It's a nice camera. But the more I thought about it, I came home after beating myself over the last couple of weeks at it. I came home with the intentions to order a Canon. And I said, well, before I do that, let me look at the Panasonic one more time. And then guess what? I'm still back and forth going nuts. I finally said, self, stop driving yourself nuts. If you need a camera with all that stuff on it, and you're going to use it all the time, then buy it and get it over with. If you really don't need it, but you want it because it has all that stuff on it, it had dual cards, it had all kinds of stuff. Well then, whenever you want one, all you gotta do is go to the TV station and you can borrow one. You know, and I can take it for a week, 2 weeks, so it's not like, you know, I need to bring it back the same day or anything. He says, so you can always borrow one. Okay, self, he, me. So why am I spending $1,500 for a camera that I may only need the features once or twice? And why spend $1,500 for a camera to have it sit out here in the shop and get used and abused and dropped and thrown and stuck on the John Deere and, you know, the John Deere cam? And why? So I talked myself back into a little $200 or $300 camera. So now there's a couple of them that I've been looking at over here. Actually, I'm doing a little research on the World Wide Web of YouTube. And I'm looking at a Canon CX440, an R7 II, an R800, and I'm looking at a Panasonic, which I don't think I'm going to go with, the W580K. And then there was a Sony, which an AX33, and I'm surprised. The Sony, I mean, for Sony being Sony, it was a piece of shit in my opinion. Then there was a couple I never heard of. Zoom. Well, you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to hear them again because that's one that I'll never look at again. So it could have just been a poor review because he was too busy talking about music and himself than he was the camera. But anyway, that's about it. So I'm still looking around. Like I say, it's not going to be a big decision, but I got to get something cheap in here so I can put this Canon that I'm using now, which is the 4. What the hell is it here? I don't even remember. The 4 Ti or 4 IT or who the hell knows what it is. You know, it does video, but it's not made for, you know, when you're walking back and forth on it. You know, a lot of action. If you're standing in front of a screen and you're just sitting there, or I'm working down like this on something, it's fine. But if you're walking around, you know, back and forth, it doesn't keep up with you as far as focus. You know, and it's really made for taking pictures, and it doesn't do a bad job at that. You know, this camera is fine for me. It does everything I need it to do. But I want to get something less expensive, because right now you can probably buy these cheap. But when I bought this one, it was almost $1,000. You know, and to have $1,000 of my money out here is kind of crazy, because if it gets tipped over, you know, or I take it out and it starts to pour rain on it, you know, I just ruined a good camera. So it may not be worth $1,000 anymore, but it's worth $1,000 to me, because that's what I had to pay for it. So that's where I'm at, guys. So other than that, let me do a few things here. I just seen something. I have no idea what that's for. Where the hell did this come from? Oh, that goes on the box outside. Yeah. Okay. And that's where I'm at. So I'll be back, guys. Well, there it is, guys. Now, the more I sit here and look at it, the more crooked it looks, but I put a level on it, and the thing is level as can be. So it's just one of those things. All right. So that's where we're at. So it's up. Everything is not hooked up outside, but everything from this unit is hanging outside. The only thing that is hooked up is the black control wire. That's hooked up to the condenser already outside. As far as all the lines, they're not hooked up. The lines themselves, the Freon lines, whoops, hey Lance, they're way too big, or too long. Here, buddy. How you doing? Huh? How you doing? Want a couple treats? No? All right. That's my buddy. Yeah. You don't want any treats. You came out here to see Dad, huh? Yeah, you came out here for some loving, huh? Yeah, you had a rough morning this morning, huh? With all the thunder. Yeah. Yeah, you hate that. You came and jumped in with Daddy, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you came to sleep with Daddy. You came in and jumped right in the bed. You and Bear and Tucker. Luckily you had any room for us. Huh? Yeah. Okay. We had a hell of a thunderstorm and pouring rain. I'm talking pouring rain, which was good. And it was going on, I don't know, it started about 5, I guess, and it went on constantly. Heavy duty stuff for, let me see, 4 hours, 5 hours. I left at 8 o'clock to go see the doctor, and it just started to lighten up a little bit after that, as far as the rain goes. And then by the time I got home, the sun was shining, and it's like 85 degrees, so you know, that's where we're at. But that's the way it works. I thought I was in Florida for a minute, you know, so. But you know what, if it's going to rain, let it rain like that every morning. That'll take care of all the farm and take care of all the plant life and any nature that's out there that depends on the water, which we all depend on water. And then let the sun come out and give everything it needs to do that. So every morning let it rain for an hour or two, heavy duty, and don't worry about it. Alright, so we're up. I am going to take a break, and at that point have a little coffee. No, you know what, I'm going to have some lemon water. Yeah, I'm done with the coffee for today. It's getting too late. Alright, now I'm just checking the wire out there, or the lines for the Freon. I only need, even if I give myself a little extra, 4.5 feet. And that's giving myself extra. I've got about 20 feet. the ends, they're just flared on. I just don't know if I have my flaring tool anywhere. I thought I did, because if so, I'll just cut it to the size, you know, giving myself a little extra, and do what I have to do. I mean, I don't want to have all this stuff just wrapped around out there. It's crazy. Yeah, and they're just, where are we? There we are. Focus. No? Zoom out a little bit. Alright. Now all it is basically just a flared end. It's not sweated on, it's not soldered on, it's just a flared end on both sides. So it's not that it's a big deal here. You know, so I can cut it and flare it. I just don't remember if I have my flaring, my flare tool. They even give you extras. So if you blow a line, I guess I can always just, I got enough of it here. I don't need all this. Damn, I don't need all this. Let me see if I can find a flare tool, because I really, look at, I don't need all that down there. There's tons of it down there. Well, not tons, I may be exaggerating. 2 or 3 pounds. No, but there's got to be 6, 12, about 15 feet there, 15, 18 feet. So, and again, I only need 4.5 feet, and that's being really generous. So, let me go get some measurements and see what I'm going to do here. Alright, I just took some measurements and given myself a lot of room for the bend, 42 inches. And that's giving myself a lot of room. So I knew it was somewhere around 4.5 feet. So that's where we're at. So I gotta find my flaring tool, because I really don't want all this hanging around out there. If I don't have it running, you know, kind of like straight down, and I have it coiled, it's just going to build up condensation within the coil, and I don't want that. So I got to find my flaring tool. If I can't find it, I'm going to go buy one, because I'm going to do this right, or I'm not going to do it at all. And then I just found this thing, and that goes underneath the condenser out there that I screwed down already. So now I have to unscrew it so I can see where the hell that goes. What this is you can attach a hose to it so it's a vent, so it won't be bleeding or dripping water right under the unit. It'll track to one side or the other. So let me go get that thing.